Hi there, Jeffrey Rhoades from Experimental Homesteader, Exotic Gardening, and Sheri and Richerson.com. Please subscribe, hit that join button, join our membership. Leave a comment down below. We appreciate comments. We do read them, and we do try to respond to them. You're already digging into the Oreos, huh? Yeah, you're sick. You shouldn't be eating Oreos. Oh. No, we got a few snack items this evening, and we're already digging into some of the snacks. Because we've been without snacks for a little while, so. Well, this evening, went out to the barn to take care of the animals. And our male goat, Ferdinand, decided that he was going to be a pain in the rear end. He has been pushing against the wall of the stall. Basically, the wall was built using pallets, and it was a pallet on the left side, pallet on the right side, and in the center was the door to the stall. And I had noticed, months ago when we'd put him in the stall, that he had started pushing against the one post that wasn't actually attached at the ceiling like it should have been. And he had been moving it slightly, and had managed to, move it several inches, so that instead of it being straight across, it was now V'd a little bit, and had bent the latch to the door. So it was going to take some effort and some work to get it put back into place properly, but that was down the road. I wasn't going to worry too much about it. Well, this evening when I went out there, he had busted through the door. There were actually 2 holes in the door. The one hole was, just a hole. The other hole had his head through it. He had pushed his head through, but couldn't pull it back. The way the wood had splintered, it had him trapped. But he had busted the door, and had moved, the wall quite a bit further. Had actually busted the one support that was actually attached to the ceiling. So, had done quite a bit of damage. Made a mess of things. So, he had also, torn his scalp pretty good. So we got some wound coat, coated his scalp. Sheri got in the stall while he was trapped, and took care of trimming his hooves, because we were getting ready to do that anyways. We were trying to figure out how to get him on the milk stand and hold him in place, so we could trim his hooves, because he's a big goat, and he was going to be a handful. well, since he was already trapped, you know, we went ahead and took care of that. And then we went ahead and put him in the stall with Bailey's. We hadn't really intended on putting him in there quite yet. But you know, that was, you know, the only thing we could do. Now I have to pay attention and make sure that he doesn't bust through the door of that stall. Make sure that he stays within his pen with Bailey's. But, you know, it was just, it's been, you know, one of those nights. At least now I can get in there and I can, you know, clean up the stall, rebuild that wall, rebuild the door. Use a heavier wood on the door. I think I'll probably just redesign the door, make it better. Come up with a better, you know, better idea for it. Because right now it's just, I mean, it wasn't a bad door. It wasn't a bad design. It's worked for years with the other goats. But with Ferdinand, he punched a hole through it. Actually, 2 holes. You know, he was bound and determined that he was going to, you know, knock a hole through the door. And he did it twice. So, but he wanted out of that stall, definitely. We have some cold weather coming, so I finally got some of the wood that I split up the other day brought in, and I started up a fire out in the wood burner. I will be going back out there in a little bit to check on it, make sure that everything is working well, and that it gets up to temperature, so that we can maintain temperature. And I need to work on getting some plastic up on some of the windows. I need to put some plastic on windows in the basement, and get the basement sealed up a little better. Because we've got some definite air leaks down there. We've had them for years. But I want to do something about them this year. I need to work on the fence tomorrow and get that fence finished for the pasture, so that maybe I can get the goats out into the pasture before the weather gets too bad. Because there's a possibility of a little bit of snowfall in the next day or so. I'm hoping that it's just, you know, a small chance of, and no real accumulation or anything like that. So that's my hope. So I also need to get the woods that I split moved and up on a pallet, so that it can, you know, be kept dry. Of course, I also I need to find another tarp, or some plastic to put over it. I've also got a small greenhouse that I need to move to put into the bigger greenhouse, so that we can nest them and get those plasticed over as well. So lots to do, not a lot of time to do it. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully, Ferdinand behaves himself overnight. And hopefully it doesn't get too nasty tomorrow, and I can get some stuff taken care of tomorrow. So we will see what happens. So I think that's going to do it for tonight. So once again, please subscribe. Give us thumbs up, thumbs down, comments below. And we will see everybody tomorrow. Stay safe out there.